Okay, get ready for this. What if I told you that our entire solar system, everything we've ever known, is actually floating inside a giant, ancient, and surprisingly empty bubble? Seriously, it's a discovery that completely changes the map of our little corner of the Milky Way.
You know, it's funny, more than 2,000 years ago, the Buddha used this incredible image, a bubble in a stream, to talk about how fleeting everything is. A really beautiful metaphor for the temporary nature of, well, everything.
But here's the wild part. He was being metaphorical, right? Except he wasn't. On the biggest scale imaginable, it turns out he was literally, factually correct. We are, right now, inside a bubble floating in a massive cosmic stream.
So let's get into it. For years, astronomers had this nagging feeling that something was off about our galactic neighborhood. It just seemed way too empty. And now, finally, we know why.
Meet the local bubble. That's its official name. It's this enormous 1,000 light-year-wide hole carved out of all the gas and dust that's supposed to be between the stars. And by some unbelievable cosmic fluke, we're floating right near the center of it.
The scale here is just mind-boggling. This thing is about 14 million years old. But the stat that really gets me is the density. The galactic average is around half an atom per cubic centimeter. Sounds empty, right? Well, inside our bubble, it's 10 times emptier than that. We are adrift in a truly profound cosmic void.
So you have to ask, how in the universe do you blow a bubble 1,000 light-years wide? The answer, it turns out, is pretty simple, with an absolutely unimaginable amount of violence.
We're talking about at least 15 supernovae. That's 15 giant stars reaching the end of their lives and erupting in these colossal explosions. Not all at once, but one after another, over millions of years, each one unleashing a devastating shockwave.
Catherine Zucker, one of the astronomers behind this discovery, has the perfect analogy. She says to think of it like a snowplow. Each one of those 15 explosions acted like a cosmic snowplow, just blasting through space, sweeping up all the interstellar gas and dust, and piling it up at the edges.
And this all got started about 14 million years ago. But our sun? We were a latecomer to the party. We just sort of wandered into this already existing bubble about 5 million years ago. And it's not over. The edge of this bubble is still expanding outwards right now, racing through space at 4 miles a second. Now you'd think all that destruction, all those explosions, would just leave a giant dead zone in space. But this is where the story takes an amazing turn. This is a beautiful paradox. All of that cosmic violence has kicked off a spectacular wave of creation. Remember that snowplow? Well, as it pushed all that gas and dust outwards, it didn't just clear a space. It slammed into surrounding clouds, compressing them, squeezing them with incredible pressure. And that pressure was the trigger that caused those clouds to collapse and ignite into thousands of brand new stars. The result is this incredible ring of creation all around us. You know all those breathtaking images of star-forming regions from space telescopes? The Taurus molecular cloud, the Ophiuchus cloud complex? Well, it turns out pretty much every single young star in our vicinity was born on the surface of this very bubble. Just like Catherine Zucker says, the local bubble is literally the reason we have some of the most iconic, awe-inspiring images in all of astronomy. The next time you see one of those stellar nurseries, just remember, you're looking at the creative aftermath of that ancient chain of explosions. So yeah, by sheer dumb cosmic luck, our sun drifted right into the middle of this thing, giving us, humanity, front row seats to one of the most spectacular light shows in the galaxy, the birth of new stars happening all around us on the bubble's edge. For the longest time, we had no idea this was here, mainly because we're inside of it. It's like trying to figure out the shape of a forest when you're standing in the middle of it. So how did scientists finally crack this 14-million-year-old mystery?
It really took a revolution in technology. First, the European Space Agency's Gaia Observatory spent years building this insanely precise 3D map of millions of stars, tracking where they are and how they're moving. Then, this incredible new software called GLUE let astronomers stitch all that complex data together. And just like that, the bubble's true shape and history were revealed for the very first time.
But here's where it gets even bigger. This discovery isn't just about our own little neighborhood. It could fundamentally change how we picture the entire Milky Way galaxy.
I mean, think about it. What are the odds that we just happen to land in the only bubble in a galaxy of billions of stars? It's way more likely that our bubble is just one of many. And that leads to this mind-bending idea. The Milky Way might not be a solid disk at all. It might be more like cosmic Swiss cheese,
a foam of countless superbubbles, all blown by dying stars.
This is a huge shift in thinking. The old view was that the galaxy's structure was mostly about those big, graceful spiral arms. But the new view? It suggests there's this other, more violent engine driving galactic evolution, the constant creation and expansion of these superbubbles, which are always reshaping the galaxy and setting off new waves of starbirth.
And that, of course, leaves us with one last awesome question to chew on. If our galaxy really is a foam of these bubbles, all expanding and interacting, what happens when they run into each other? What kind of incredible cosmic fireworks display gets unleashed when two of these massive, star-forming shockwaves finally collide? That's the next great mystery.